keeper thee, the one who gives you strength, and I will uphold you by my hand. I am the Lord, the one who keeper thee, the one who gives you strength, and I will uphold you by my hand. Come on, say, that's your big day. You can't do no more. Come on, come on. You can't cash out from the hey, you can't do no more. Hey, cash it. Let me show you that it's going on. Of the armies of heaven, I confer and pronounce double honor, double blessing, double blessings, double grace, double favor to be conferred upon you. And because you came on the day of honor to celebrate and to honor the servant of the Lord, may you be honored. May you wear the crown of double honor. And for all the days of your life, let no man, let no woman, let no demon, let no one great or small dishonor you. For all the days of your life, the Lord renew you in strength, and let grace be extended unto you. Let mercy abound towards you, and let your strength and your days be multiplied. And be as an eagle, soar as an eagle, roar as a lion. Kadula kawasala, hey, yetukum silimatala. And above all, anyone that strive with us and contend with us at the gate of authority, at the seat of power, anyone who strive and contend with your people, Heavenly Father, exercising divine authority, anyone that takes our name and our picture to a shrine, to an altar for evil, let it backfire on them. Let it backfire in the name of Jesus. Anyone that speak ill and evil of your people, let their tongue be silenced. Let their tongue cleave to the root of their mouth. Anyone that speak evil of us, let their voice be discredited and silenced. Discredited and silenced. Anyone that imagine ill or evil of us by divine authority on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, according to the scriptures, as this is written, I command, let it boomerang, boomerang, boomerang. We translate boomerang, 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 boomerang. We intercept the waster. We waste the waster. We oppose opposition. In the name of Jesus, we resist the resistor. Thank you, Lord. As you live here, I declare you will not be wasted. Let the waster be wasted. Let every opposition be opposed. Let every resistance break. Live here with the upper hand. Have dominion. And now we send the blood of Jesus to your father's house, to your mother's house, to your background. Anything that lifts up his head against you, in the name of Jesus, we ground it in the blood of Jesus. We ground it in the name of Jesus. Above all, any condition, pattern and cycles that are contrary to the will of God, to the word of God, to the plan of God for your life, today on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, we intercept it. We say interception, interception, intercept, interception, interception, interception. We intercept, 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 contradiction. We intercept contradiction. We command you in the name of Jesus as more than a conqueror. Tell somebody, I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Tell two people, I declare that you are more than a conqueror.
Tanimo, onuncho ni hao dama, kichele wekung. Oyan tumo, usole moji yake, ubaona ni. Aya, baba shushui. Amen.
Yeah, that's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la, la 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 la. Around the way, beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
Our Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, Professor Hinson, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to thank the organizers, especially our Honorable Julius Deborah and the co-author, for this kind invitation to be with all of you here today. Even as our government has asked Ghanaians to entrust us with a mandate to reset our country and its institutions, we recognize that a reset is not achieved through slogans alone. A reset may be initially defined by inspiration, but one of our first duties was to understand that daily implementation is what makes it all the difference to policy and outcomes. This book argues that the repeated experiences of citizens and institutions become the true face of Ghana's public service. Ladies and gentlemen, the authors didn't simply tell us that our public and civil service must improve. Beyond a diagnosis, they provide options for reform. The book directs us to design strategy around citizens, restructure their journey, invest in frontline officers, and measure successes by the experiences of people. This last point may be the book's most important contribution. It distinguishes between institutions' self-perception and the image that citizens have built of those institutions. As long as the government focuses primarily on the first, while our citizens judge us by the second, an important gap will remain between us, regardless of how many reform programs we launch or service charters we publish. Again, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a performance review of a public institution. Budgets are examined, attendance is discussed, projects are completed on schedule, and we celebrate. The meeting lasts about 90 minutes, assuming, of course, that it starts on time. Yet, many may not take the time to ask, what was the experience of people of this project? I've attended many meetings like you, like many of us. But ladies and gentlemen, real reform is difficult because it unsettles unfamiliar patterns and forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. However, instead of making reform undesirable or discouraging, it should remind us that meaningful change demands hard work. I congratulate the authors, Julius Deborah and Professor Hinson, on your collaboration. It is not often that practical experience at the highest levels of government is brought into close conversation with academic research. The result is a work that is intellectually grounded and focused on the realities of implementation, and that speaks to scholars of public administration and to those entrusted with the daily work of governing. Permit me now to briefly address our leaders of public and civil service who are here today, and maybe those who are listening too. This book ends with a challenge. Let us reinforce that with a few practical expectations. By viewing your institutions through the eyes of the citizen,
in the aftermath of the floods that affected a lot of the southern coastal part of our country, I deemed it necessary for us to have a national security meeting to discuss the issues arising out of that natural disaster. It's become a recurring incident, But of course, this was far worse than any that we have seen, both because of the vagaries of climate change. Aside from that, too, the pressures of urbanization. Accra being the capital, it is expanding at a very alarming rate. Of course, we've asked the Army to get involved in the flood mitigation measures, and then also NADMO and others are involved in relief, spreading of relief items. And so we want to look at what's been happening so far and what the measures we have to put in place going forward would be. Happily, the Minister of Finance has released some money from the contingency fund for us to be able to finance the mitigation measures going forward. We might not be able to completely eliminate flooding because it's a natural disaster that happens not only in our part of the world, it happens in other areas, but we can minimize it and make its effect less disastrous like what happened. In this particular case, all countries from Gabon to Cote d'Ivoire reported flooding and some loss of lives, some much higher than us. And like we Christians say, in everything we give thanks. And we hope that we should be able to work so that we ameliorate the difficulty that people are suffering.
Which court is seized of the Ganesha proceedings against the contingency fund? In respect of which judgment, debt, in which suit, and for what amount? When was the Republic served? And what did the Attorney General Office do about it? Did the government know of the proceedings on 29 June when it stood before the Finance Committee and obtained approval? And if so, why was the Finance Committee not told? Did the Bank of Ghana decline to give effect to the Attorney General's directive? And on what legal advice? From which account precisely was the 350 million cedis withdrawn? On what date, on whose instruction, and under whose authorization? And the question that towers above all the others, by what law does an Attorney General's considered opinion suspend the process of court of the Republic? The role of the Minister of Finance in this affair demands independent scrutiny by Parliament. On 29 June 2026, the minister came before Parliament's Finance Committee seeking approval to withdraw 350 million cedis from the contingency fund. At that moment, one of the two things must have been true. Either the minister knew that the contingency fund was already the subject of Ganesha proceedings and failed to disclose that material fact to Parliament, or he sought parliamentary approval without knowing that the constitutional fund under his stewardship had become entangled in court proceedings. Neither possibility inspires confidence. Matters become even more troubling if, as the information available to the minority suggests, the funds were ultimately released from an entirely different public account. If the minister authorized or became aware of that alternative arrangement, Why did he not return to Parliament for fresh approval? Why did the Minister of Finance subsequently announce that the funds had been released from the contingency fund? Was Parliament misled? Were Ghanaians misled? These are questions that only a full parliamentary inquiry can answer. Let no one mistake this for a technical dispute among lawyers. When 350 million cedis of public funds moves out of account, Parliament never approved, under cover of an official statement naming a different source, outside every control that the Constitution and the PFM Act erects around public funds, the condition for corruptions.
By tomorrow, and I'm going to list out to them as I read. We have given them the benefit of the doubt, and we'll read it out the program tomorrow. If we don't hear from them tomorrow, we will report same to the House to take a decision on them. That we called them and they did not come. It is for the House to take a decision on the conduct of the ministers. You cannot, and let me repeat, you cannot be serving people and you will disrespect these same people. We are representing the people because all of Ghana cannot be in Parliament. So they've chosen 276 people to represent them. No minister or no government functionary is above the people of Ghana. And so when the committee says come, you must come. If you make a promise to the people and the community is tasked to find out where that promise has reached, where you have reached with that promise, the execution of that promise, it's your duty to come. But when you snub the committee or you refuse to appear, this committee will not take it kindly with anybody, neither will Parliament. And I will insist with my team, my deputy, my vice chairman, Emma Rankin, and deputy Rankin, send to Parliament our report to say that you, this minister and that minister or this official, refused the call of Parliament to come and appear and answer to the people. And let's see whether the president will take action on you or not. So tomorrow, we are forced to reschedule the Agriculture Minister tomorrow at 9 a.m. Local government at 12 noon.
All the conditions of the nation, seeking it with pride. From the qualification of playing for the national team, you can't sing the national anthem. During the World Cup, our players all fancy our national team. All the conditions of the nation, seeking it with pride. From the qualification of playing for the national team, you can't sing the national anthem.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM. Today is the 9th of July, 2026. This indeed is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we want to say we're glad that we've been able to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. My name is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. I'll say big thank you to you for tuning in every day from 7 a.m. to 9:55 when we discuss very critical and very important issues here on this platform. Let me also say that the Good Morning Ghana show is brought to you by Metro Digital and then also proudly supported by AH Cafe. I'll share with you the contact number so you can call them and either get the food to be delivered to you, or as you order, or you pass by and enjoy their fantastic services. This includes the ambience, the food, the attendants and everybody. So I'll tell you a bit more about AH Cafe shortly on the show. I'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning, and I'll start with, as usual, the Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic this morning is talking about I've never authorized a sale of land within Sakuma Ramsar site, according to Nungwa Manche. Chief of Staff co-authors book on public civil service delivery. The president spurs Kwewu firms to manufacture. Name prosecute government officials implicated in $300 million US dollars drug bust, according to Intim Fojuo. The Daily Searchlight says minority kicks against public tribunals, warns against political persecution, and also 350 million cedis flood fund controversy. Minority demands for Yene's dismissal of alleged legal breach. There's also revocation of civilian firearm calls for urgent public discussion in education. Jatike Center. MPP set September 19 for National Delegates Conference, National Officers Election. There's also the Ghanaian Times this morning that says delayed road contracts will be terminated, Roads Minister wants. Does Korea commits $38 million to strengthen digital STEM education? And there's 8 police officers interdicted over Sarano shooting. Africa loses $88.6 billion yearly to illicit flows. And there's a crackdown on exploitative drivers. Civil society group urges government. Daily Guide. Name prosecute government officials in 208 million Aussie meth busts, according to Team Fojo. There's Unimac Chancellor Oforisapon to strengthen academia industry ties. And there's 350 million cedis contingency fund release. Minority calls for AG's resignation. There's a MPP sets September 19 for new executives election. Hanan ready to remain in custody until court rules, according to Dame. The Insight says on Communist Party's 105th anniversary, China affirms modern socialist society by 2049. And there's big boost for pensioners, contributors as SNIT unveils the MVP initiative. And there's resetting Ghana's public service. VIB demands fair judgment, promises better delivery. As Ambassador Kong Song highlights CPC governance model and deepening China-Africa cooperation. Ghana's creative future gets a boost as Edes Oforisapon becomes Unimac first chancellor. 506 feed Ghana brigadiers pass out to drive agricultural transformation. 2026 World Cup, integrity of game at stake over FIFA Balogun decision, according to UEFA. Now let's check out MetroTVOnline.com. 506 feed Ghana brigadiers commissioned to drive agricultural transformation. And there's Parliament approves community service bill to ease prison overcrowding. Over 100 kilometers cleared for Accra Kumasi Expressway project, according to the Ghana Armed Forces. NACOC trains SHS councillors to tackle rising drug abuse. And there's in the northern region, 6 feared dead after canoe capsizes in Wollensee. Andre Ayew visits Black Maidens Camp to inspire team ahead of Senegal decide. I would love to lead the Black Stars according to Lai Kingston. Well, this one is not an entirely new story, I must admit. Anyway, so what are the quotes saying? What are the quotes saying? That's the next segment on the show, on the review. That's can we for once put politics aside? That's Collins Aduma comments has been talking. He's an MP for Ifija, Kwabre North, and that's it's a story curled from MetroTVOnline.com. What else we have? SA President shall prosecute the ringleaders of vigilantism. That's also here on the front. That's with MetroTVOnline.com quote card. What else do we have? All right. Oh, okay. So still on the essays, xenophobic attacks, problems of South Africa are domestic, not caused by other Africans. That's according to the AFTA Secretary General. He has a very interesting name, but it's also a mouthful, so you have to really practice it over a period of time to be able to mention it. But he was yesterday on Good Morning Ghana. We had a fantastic and a very illuminating and insightful conversation on AFTA and the future of AFTA with all that's happening with the instability within the sub-region. Anyway, in case you missed it, that's unfortunate. Perhaps maybe one of these days and one of these holidays we'll play it back, depending on what my boss Bright Amini says. Anyway, so stay with us. It's Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
Tanumo onunchoni ha odama chiechele wekun mayanu tumo osole moji yake ubawo nani aya baba shushuishwe. Amen.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Oh, good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesanso Mama Hotel so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time.
It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
From the rich soils of Ghana, our farmers grow the finest ingredients. We clean, hand select, and carefully craft into bold, unforgettable flavors. And when you open our little bag of big taste, it's pure, bold, unforgettable flavor bursting in every bite. Enjoy the goodness, made with big care. This advert is FDA approved.
My new girl is coming over today, and I have to give her a treat of her life.
Hi. Hey.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine.
I got you a paint. This is Easy Waterproof Paint, the best ever solution for all sort of leakages. I got it for you.
Thank you.
Easy Waterproof Paint can be used on any surface, being it cement, blocks, roofing sheets, swimming pools, and more. It can also be used as primer before you apply any paint to help provide extra protection.
Easy Waterproof Paint. No more leakages.
Watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My name is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. The show is going all the way till 9:55. Yes, there's lots of you who have sent us messages requesting and seriously appealing and is doing that passionately for an extension of the show. As I said, we're still talking to management, and we're hoping that sooner rather than later, the show will extend to 10:30, but we're working on that. We hope that government, I said just the government, management will listen to us. We're still working on that. Anyway, so my guests are here, and we'll kickstart with the conversation shortly. But before we do, you've been asking me to share with you the contact number for AH Cafe. Right, AH Cafe. Let me share that with you, and then call them and thank me later. Okay, the number is 020-772-0069. 020-772-0069. 020-772-0069. So that's AH Cafe. Is located right here, Dr. Easter Street. We're close to Alisa Hotel. So pass through and have a meal of your lifetime, but also at a very affordable price. It's sumptuous, it's tasty, it's delicious. It's very nice. Yes, it's very nice. That's why if you want to catch me, come to AH Cafe. You see me there. You see myself, Vanessa, Bright, Kiki, everybody. That's what we eat. You know, as far as once it's affordable and it's tasty, why not? We don't have any option. We'll be there because we are not rich like you, you know. So we eat at AH Cafe. Anyway, so my guests are in, and we'll kickstart with the conversation. I always like it when there's gender balance. And anyway, so Loratu Musa Saka is a very proud Gunja, is a member of the MPP communications team, a very passionate Ghanaian. She's a gender activist, passionate about young people, passionate about the future of this country. And so when it comes to these topics, you don't cross her, otherwise she'll fight you. I'm telling you, that one, she doesn't compromise on that. Laura is here with us. Let me say good morning to you, Laura. How are you? And I say assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
And I hope you're doing very well.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, wonderful. I like your outfit. It looks really good on you.
Thank you. I'm learning from you.
I've asked you to introduce me to your fashion designer. You've refused. Because you said he does unisex.
Yeah.
You haven't. So I'm still wearing the ones you gave me. Anyway, Laura to Sakamusa. Anyway, so, but you know, it's ladies first. So my very good friend and brother will understand. He's also a gender activist. He has a lot of respect for women. I don't want to say he loves women. People might misinterpret that. Yes. But he respects them a lot, so he doesn't have a problem with me introducing the woman first before him. Elikem Kotoko is a Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Ghana's Forestry Commission, and he doubles as a Deputy National Organizer of the NDC. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure, Elikem, to have you join us on the show. Thank you. You know, we don't take your appearances on this show for granted at all, because you have options. You have a lot of things to do, but when you take your time, you take time off your very, very busy and demanding schedule to join us. We appreciate it. Anyway, so Laura, how is school? I don't have your permission to say exactly what you're doing, but say how is school?
School is fine.
Okay. When are you hoping to be done with the...
I have no idea now. It's left with the school.
It's left with the school. But I don't get tired of going to school. I don't know why. Every year you enroll. Except that this one is going to take a
When you
bit of
empty your purse into your head, nobody can take it away from you.
Well, yeah, right.
So,
but I think
and life keeps changing. You have to keep
You've emptied
abreast.
enough.
I've done what?
You have emptied your purse enough, and you have fed the brain
Right,
enough.
there's nothing in the purse anymore.
Let's finish. Oh, no,
That was the first. Don't worry. You know, the same God that has brought you this far would always make sure that you finish the journey.
Oh, definitely.
Allahu Akbar. Allah is great. All right, so Laura, I'm told that just yesterday your party, in fact, I received a communique from Yidi Muhayidin, who works at your party's head office. He sent me a communique, and I noticed that it hasn't been published by some of the newspapers. I think it has to do with, you say you are setting September 19th for new executives elections. Okay, but so far, how's the other ones? How's it going, the constituency?
So we've been through the good morning to our viewers,
sure.
and good morning to Elikem. It's my first time over meeting him on set.
Right.
And good morning to you too. So we've been through the polling station, the electoral area. You know, we expanded the electoral area numbers from just the coordinator to a full set of executives. And this weekend, so 11th and 12th, is slated for the constituency elections. And so far, it's been relatively good. So we are looking forward to having something similar over the weekend, which is some are slated for the 11th, which is Saturday. Some are also slated for the 12th, unless there are other issues that will not allow the election to go. So the constituency national rep for, which is Yape Kosovo, we are having it on the 11th, which is this Saturday. So so far, then sometime in August will be the regional executive election. Then September is the national delegates conference to elect national officers.
Oh, so the ones you've done so far is the area ward coordinator?
So we don't have area ward. Ours is polling station, electoral area, constituency, region and national.
Okay, so which ones have you done so far?
Electoral polling station and electoral
area coordinator.
Yeah, so the polling station and electoral area executives elect the constituency executives. Constituency executives elect regional. Regional and constituency elect national.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. And I'm told that my very good friend Faisal, there were some issues with Faisal Sisi. And what's the name? What's the name of Zanato's constituency? Yeah, I'm told of some issues with Faisal Sisi. Initially, he was
I haven't really followed.
Yes. Initially, he was blocked from contesting. I don't know exactly what the issues are, but just yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw a communique by the
elections committee.
Yes, that he's been cleared. You know, him and I go way back.
So that's a good one. I mean, the issues have been rather followed much
about that. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. But I'm happy that this matter is been coming up. Let me just read the story first before I pick their thoughts on this matter. It's something that happened in January this year, but I've never really had the opportunity to speak to my politician friends about it to find out what they actually make of this and whether they think that should be the future of internal politics going forward. But let me just do this. It's on page 6. It was based on that publication that I asked Laura that question. So we're told that MPP set September 19 for new executive elections. Ebenezer K. Aponsa of the Daily Guide says that the MPP has scheduled Saturday, September 19, 2026 for its National Delegates Conference, where delegates will elect new national officers to steer the party into the next election cycle. In a statement issued on Wednesday, July 8th, the party said the date was approved by the National Council following a proposal from the National Executive Committee during its meeting on Thursday, June 25, 2026. The NPP has fixed Saturday, September 19, 2026 as the date for its National Delegates Conference, at which delegates will, among other matters, elect national officers of the party pursuant to Article 101 of the party constitution. The NPP, Ghana's current opposition party, holds a national delegates conference every 4 years to elect national executive. The exercise is mandated by Article 10(1) of the party's constitution. Is expected to shape the leadership that will lead the party's reorganization ahead of the 2028 general election. The upcoming conference comes at a time when the NPP is undertaking internal reforms to strengthen its structures and broadening participation following its defeat in the 2024 polls. Party leaders have repeatedly stressed the need for unity, accountability, and a more inclusive decision-making process. As part of preparations, the MPP has also opened the window for constitutional amendment in line with Article 19(2) of its constitution. Members and stakeholders have been invited to submit proposals for changes to the party's governing document. Proposals must reach the office of the General Secretary at the party's national headquarters or be sent electronically to mppconstitutionalamendment@gmail.com. By Friday, July 17, 2026. The party described the review process as an opportunity to enhance internal democracy, improve governance, and make the MPP more responsive to the aspirations of its members. The MPP remains committed to constitutionalism, internal democracy, and the rule of law as it prepares for the upcoming National Delegates Conference statement. And it appears that at every conference, amendments are tabled for proposals are tabled for amendments to the party's constitution. Is that something that usually happens, Laura?
So conference is the highest decision-making body
of the party. All right.
And when it comes to these reforms and amendments and all that, we learn every day.
Right.
There are lots of lessons that have been learned from being in power for 8 years, losing an election with such a magnitude.
Right.
And we are reorganizing. So definitely this is the time to make sure that the measures we put in place makes us stronger moving forward. And he's following due process, because there's a delegates conference in September, and that's the same day that we'll be electing national officers. And these are done at the different levels too. So it's just a procedure. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that people will have amendments.
Yeah.
But if you also don't do that, then you are not following what due process is. So it's in order, and the article in question has been quoted. So it's just a standard procedure.
I want us to start. Thank you very much for the education. But I want us to start on this note. It's not in the papers, but I just thought I should pick your general thoughts and briefly on this matter before we move to the more substantive issue. And it's something that's been agitating my mind. You know, I'm in sixes and sevens on this. I don't know which way where to go, because it looks like both arguments are valid. So I said I'm in sixes and sevens. You know, about this matter, because in one breath I said it's a good idea. I'm like, it's not a good idea. So maybe let me just pick your mind on this. So in January this year, the former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, and Elikem, let me know what your thoughts on this matter too. Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng was a veteran politician, also Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo, and a former Education Minister, Dr. Christian Mwakuniama. You know, they filed a suit at the Supreme Court, and they are challenging the constitutionality of the delegates-based system, right? Used by Ghana's major political parties to elect their presidential and parliamentary candidates. Yes. Now, the three plaintiffs are seeking constitutional declarations against the MPP and the NDC and the CPP, arguing that the party's internal electoral arrangement materially disenfranchises ordinary party members and violates the democratic principles entrenched in the 1992 Constitution. Now, the Attorney General and the Electoral Commission have also been joined as defendants, with the plaintiffs contending that the EC has failed in its constitutional and statutory duty to ensure that the internal organization of political parties conforms to democratic principles as required under Article 55(5) of the Constitution and Section 9E of the Political Parties Act 2000, Act 574. Now, according to the plaintiffs, political parties in Ghana are not private clubs, but constitutionally recognized institutions through which citizens exercise political power and access public office. As such, they argue, the processes by which parties select presidential and parliamentary candidates form a core part of their internal organization and must comply with democratic standards, including equal, direct, and meaningful participation of members in good standing. In their statement of case, the plaintiffs contend that the delegate-based electoral college systems currently employed by the MPP, NDC, and CPP restrict voting to a narrow class of party executives, office holders, and selected delegates, thereby excluding or materially disenfranchising the majority of party members from participating in the most consequential decisions within their parties. They argue that this structure offends not only Article 55(5) but also other constitutional provisions guaranteeing political equality, participation, and the right to vote, including Articles 1, 17, 35C, D, and 42 of the Constitution. Now the suit traces the internal arrangements of each party, noting that while the NDC briefly experimented with a universal suffrage model for the election of its presidential candidate in 2015, it later reverted to a restricted delegate system. Now, the plaintiffs argue that this regression underscores the need for judicial clarification of the constitutional meaning of democratic principles as applied to internal party elections. Now, the plaintiffs are asking the Supreme Court to declare the delegate system unconstitutional and to strike down the relevant provisions in the Constitution and electoral rules of the three political parties. They are further seeking constitutional orders directing the parties to amend their constitutions to adopt candidate selection procedures that ensure equal, direct, and meaningful participation of members. In addition, the plaintiffs want the court to order the Electoral Commission to enforce compliance with Article 55.5 and the Political Parties Act in the supervision and regulation of internal party elections. Now, of course, they don't talk about party officers, say constituency officers, you know, polling station, the case of the MPP branch elections, the case of the NDC. They don't talk about the national elections as in general secretary, and all of that. So party elections, they don't talk about that, but they only restricted it to the election of MPs or parliamentary candidates, and also that of the presidential candidates. Now, let me start with you, Elikem. I know the matter is before the court.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about the case itself because because we're not we don't want to be in contempt of court. Yeah. But the principle of expanding the electoral college to make sure that every card-bearing member who is in good standing gets the opportunity to vote to elect their parliamentary candidate and their presidential candidate as a matter of principle. Where do you stand on this matter?
Thank you, once again.
Yes. It's just a curtain raiser to what we thought to talk about. Yes.
A quick one.
Yes.
There's this young man whose birthday it is today.
Okay.
And his name is Ryan.
Okay.
Aram Kotoko.
Okay.
And I just want to wish him a happy.
Is that your first? That's your first
my
one?
son.
Oh, your son. Okay. Okay.
And, he's very happy. He's very happy that it's his birthday today.
All right.
Yes. Good.
We wish him a happy birthday.
I am not conflicted at all at the mention of this whole issue. Reason being that I commend them for the steps they have taken. Probably, I mean, they are seeking clarity.
Right.
That is what I see it to be. I don't find anything wrong with the current situation that we have as political parties. Moro, you are seated here, and I am sure that if we need to find out what is happening in your home, we don't need to interview or hear everybody from your home telling us, I haven't eaten, I have not slept well, this and all that. You become the mouthpiece of your household. And so if we having a delegate system, mind you, these delegates did not just appoint themselves.
Right.
They were equally also elected by the very people at the base that is being fought for by these people. So when you say that the electoral system frowns on Article 55, I strongly disagree. And I believe, I'm very convinced that a judge with good character and conscience and proper appreciation of what this means and processes will throw that out. The reason being that when it is said that you allow all to participate in the process, there are ways in which you allow people to participate. So if the branches are the ones that elect the constituency executives, the constituencies are the ones that elect the regional executives, the regions are the ones that elect the national offices. So you see that there's a chronology of how things happen. It is not as though somebody just gets up and comes to sit and say, I am now the spokesperson for my region, or I am now the regional officer, or I'm now the national. No, it doesn't at all. And when it even comes to our presidential candidates also, you know how the electoral process is. That is done at the very, very core, at the very base. And so I find the lawsuit very misplaced, but a good trial of our system to see what the feedback will be, what the response will be. But if you ask for my personal opinion on this, it is much ado about nothing, because it doesn't disenfranchise party members at all. The party members are involved at a certain stage. And in every organization, there are levels of involvement and participation. So at the very base where everything is cooked or done, there are roles they play. Why is it that when we want representation in Parliament, we don't call all the members from one constituency to all go and gather in the Parliament and represent. So if it is Ayawaso West, we should have all the members in Ayawaso West, all the people who, so long as it's their party in power, then all of them should go there and find seats for themselves. That's chaotic. And so a lot doesn't add up to me. I shudder to ask why our old folks have waited until they have participated in this process for the longest time, only now before realizing and want to question. But it's a good thing. We must always test the system to see what the responses will be, what the feedback will be, what the shocks are. And so we're looking forward to see what the outcome of that will be. But
you know, the thing about the delegate system, I mean, yes, technically and academically speaking, you're right. Which is that some people vote for vote for these delegates, and then they would also subsequently vote for whoever is putting themselves out to be elected. But it is based on a certain assumption that these delegates actually are championing the interest of the people who voted for them. I mean, that assumption is flawed, isn't it?
Not entirely. The reason being that...
And you know why I'm asking this? Because we've had situations where somebody will say, but for the constricted nature of the delegate system, this guy cannot beat me. This guy, if we go, every party member in good standing, this guy cannot beat me. The only reason why he's been able to beat me because the delegates are few, he has more money to pay, and so he's been able to pay his way to the top. I'm sure you heard that.
I do hear those things, but I always say that...
And sometimes the delegates actually end up producing somebody who's not maybe the most popular.
Well,
within the party,
and I mean,
whether it's a parliamentary candidate or and the person goes and loses an election.
Yeah, but you see, that is why it is called preparation. You need to prepare very well for all of this. It means that you need to weigh your strengths, identify the weaknesses of yourself or your opponent, strategize on how to go about what because come what may, once you are a candidate, it however does not mean that you possess all the qualities.
Right.
The other may also have a certain quality that others are looking for. How do you capitalize from that? Let me use this today as an example. For instance, when I was going to contest for Deputy National Organizer, my team and I sat down and planned that, okay, on average, the position is for 2 people. The other candidate, who was my very good friend, Kobe Ballon, was very well rooted. Everybody knows Kobe is very strong and all that. Okay, so he will sail through. There's a second slot left. You are 3 people contesting. How many votes do you think Kobe will get? How many votes do you think are left? How many do you think you need to just sail through?
Right.
But where you are, for instance, say, look, I'm working towards getting 98% of the votes out of this, when you know it is not even possible. Already you are shooting yourself in the foot. So preparation is what will make you plan very well to be able to do so. And there's always representation at every stage of an electoral process. Then we may as well also say that why are we disenfranchising those who are below 18 years? Why are they not challenging that too? That we believe that in today's modernity, our children who are 5, 7 years are able to understand it. Look, my 5-year-old child could tell me about the Spanish player, Lamar something, mention all the footballers I've never known, and I don't know.
How many 5-year-olds can do that?
You get that?
No, you have a special child, but how many?
And you see, he can sing all the songs in Ghana. He can sing all the songs from Nigeria.
It may not apply to all the 5-year-olds.
You get it. But well, I can also stand on that to then say that, you know, I think we should be allowing even the 7-year-olds to also vote because they will understand what it means. Because he comes to me and say, I am for Messi. And I say, I am for Messi or I'm for Ronaldo. How does he understand to say that he's for Messi or he's for Ronaldo? So there must always be
a limit.
A limit. And that is why parenting also comes in. Why is it that you have to guide your child in growing, in walking, and all of that? It is the reasons why I thought it is good to test the system anyways, but it's a flawed submission.
All right.
Yes.
Laura.
Listening to
what thou sayest.
I thought the AG has joined the suit.
Yes.
Or the AG is on his own.
And that's not it. No, we don't get that from the story.
Oh, really?
Right? Yes.
I thought I read somewhere that the
AG joined the suit.
The suit. But
Yes. You're right.
So it's a bit
you're right. Which is that the AG.
Yes. Where Elekem is coming.
Yeah, which is that the AG. So it means that the AG is in league with what the plaintiffs are varying before the court. You're right. In fact, it's actually a fact. The AG has joined the suit. You're right.
So,
well, he's expressing his opinion.
He's on his own. Oh, Elekem is expressing his opinion. So that's
that's what I said. Where does he stand?
Their Oh, okay, so it's a
Remember,
personal
this was
opinion.
not part of what we're supposed to talk about. So this is also your personal view. Laura Mischief.
No, I've heard that view and it will not change from me.
No, I'm not. I just wanted to be clear that,
This is personal.
it's not their
Please issue that
party.
caveat.
Oh, no, yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with the AG joining in because there ought to be clarity on probably even the reasons for which the AG decided to join.
Right.
And, they outlined their various concerns and reasons why they feel that might be.
Right.
AG may be in line with one or two of that, and so based on these, I think I need to also join this.
I got you.
And yes.
I get you. All right, Laura.
So, Moro, for me, and since it's a matter of personal opinion, for me, it's not a matter of whether the delegate system is bad.
Yeah, so let me read it. Sorry, you're absolutely right. So, 26th May 2026, Attorney General backs case seeking abolition of party delegate system. Yeah, you're spot on. Factual. All right, please go
So
ahead.
is it,
Well, that's the Attorney General. So, Laura, if you don't mind, in order not for me to interrupt you, let me just take this 2 minutes break so that when I come back and start flowing, I'll allow it to flow. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354 Also 0531 600-360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana.
We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries, just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit mean you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected.
And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright. Oh, oh. Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend, Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friend, me once now.
Hey, that's you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friend is sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come on, Tom Preko.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting another word? We could take close to 200 doctors. So, Piazza Nampi, Challenge today, we jackpot day. We dare live.
He's in the area. He's gone.
Oh,
It's the Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpot. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Kanawa Wolaki app, Wolaki website. Wo agent to ana dial *288#. Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo. Kakiti wane dikes, yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow beyond your mame.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Play small, win big.
This July, Ghana will host global downstream energy leaders, innovators, and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON 2026, to collaborate, exchange insights, and develop strategies and groundbreaking innovations through strategic dialogues. The event, held under the auspices of the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Junapo is on the scene, building a resilient downstream, policy, innovation, and investment for growth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, is our distinguished guest of honor. Speakers for the event are Mr. Godwin Kujo Tamako, Esquire, Chief Executive of NPA, Dr. Patrick Ofori, Chief Executive of Seaboard, Dr. Riverson Opon, Chief Executive of Comac, alongside other key captains of industry. Join us from the 16th to the 17th of July 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach, Accra. We can't wait to host you.
Right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My name is Aldo Moro, and I'm here with Elikem Kotoko, who is the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Ghana's Forestry Commission and also Deputy National Organizer of the NDC. Also here with us is Laura to Musa Saka. She is a member of the NPP's communications team. All right, so Laura, your take on this topic of how do you call it?
Like I was saying before we went on the break.
Yes.
I don't think the question is whether the delegate system is good or bad, but what it achieves. Does it achieve fair representation? Does it achieve integrity? Is it practical in terms of logistics, administration, and security? A good delegate system can produce excellent leadership. A bad one man, one vote can produce terrible leaders. So it's a matter of looking at it. I believe that internal party democracy is more on the rules and regulations and the enforcement of same, the party's culture, and not necessarily the voting system itself. Let's even compare it to corporate governance.
Okay.
In that sense of it, even though that parties are also corporate entities in that sense.
Right.
Of it. Decisions are not taken by the whole, should I say, all the staff, all the time. At your production level, you take certain decisions. At the departmental level, you take certain decisions. At the management level, certain decisions are taken. At the board level, certain decisions are taken. And that is the structure that these political parties operate on.
Okay.
Like I was mentioning earlier, we vote for polling station executives who vote for electoral area executives. Electoral area executives and polling station executives now vote for constituency executives. Constituency executives vote for regional executives. Constituency and regional executives vote for national executives. Then we have the National Executive Committee, we have the National Council, which is made up of various stakeholders, various decision-making blocks. So the conversation should move largely to how parties adhere to their rules and regulations, how parties adhere to their constitution and the other rules that they've signed for, and not necessarily the voting systems. You can have everyone voting, and that can be so fraudulent. You might end up not having the right leaders that you need. So, a conversation, but the plaintiffs are within their rights to challenge and test some of these things. And I think that gradually adding on, because we in the New Patriotic Party have come a very long way. We used to have only 5 polling station executives. We've added on. We used to have an electoral area coordinator. Now we have a full gamut of an electoral area executive body.
Okay.
Prior to coming for national elections, it was the chairman plus 4 others. So it was at the discretion of the chairman. So if the chairman doesn't like you or doesn't think that you support their candidate, they don't choose you. But now every constituency executive, every regional executive has the right to vote to determine who becomes the national executive, who makes up the national executive. And even for regional balance, in our case, some positions are by appointment. So we get everybody represented. So I don't think it's more about the voting system. It's how we adhere to the rules we sign up to.
2 quick issues, Laura and Elikem. We have raised concerns about the costly and the expensive nature of the current model, the delegate system.
Yeah.
Because we believe that it appears, or not what appears, but quite clearly it's easier to induce people, for them to think in a certain direction. It is also true that it hasn't worked at all times. But oftentimes when people are quote unquote bribed, they are influenced in a certain way. Don't you think that, even put the laws aside, the bigger the electoral college, the more and more people are allowed to express their preference for who leads them, the better for all of you who may tomorrow want to either become presidential candidates for a party, or you may want to be an MP, and so on and so forth. Because now it's beginning to look like the votes is for the highest bidder.
For instance, belonging to 2 political parties is not accepted, right?
No, it's not.
It's a crime.
Dual citizenship.
Well, it's not a crime, but it's not acceptable.
You cannot.
Yes.
Currently, there's no well-established system to even tell if there are many people out there who hold membership of the NDC and that of the MPP, as and when it conveniently favors them, they show which one they belong to based on whichever one is in power or is in a position that they want to align with. So, for instance, it requires that I have always advocated that maybe we even need a political parties bureau. That will be the sole custodian of membership of political parties. So that if contractor A is saying that I belong to party X, it should be verifiable, and not that because party X has come to power and he's saying that. Because it is also one of the things that I recall we have tried something similar before, and the whole system was infiltrated. You get it, but it's
with aliens and
with a lot of aliens, and so it means that you must put in a lot of proper structure. That is why I agree with what Laura also said.
Yeah, but Elikem, this structure is doable.
It's doable. It's costly, and there are a lot of things. What exactly is the problem with the current one? It doesn't disenfranchise anybody, and this must be established. We've just given examples of the fact that representation is part of democratic credentials. And so the people at the base who are not voting directly themselves for maybe regional executives, or does not mean that they have not been represented.
How have they been represented?
Let's assume you belong to constituency A.
Okay.
She constituency B and me constituency C. If you are the one who is going to vote there, it is expected that democratically you've consulted your people and they have agreed, and they may decide again. Again, that one to be majority are saying that let's vote for A, and minority says let's vote for B. So when you go to vote for A, it is a majority decision. You've disenfranchised the B people because they are not having their way anyways. Yeah. But because democracy tells us that majority must have their way. And so majority can equally also make the wrong decisions anyways. But if you have decided that way, that is the way you have gone. And so it is not affecting any due process. It is not affecting or disenfranchising people as they say. And that is why, because like I'm telling you, already when it comes to even the presidential, it is done at the very, very base. At the very, very base. So every member at the branch, it is to make sure that it is expanded very well. And so when these things are done, it is done with a lot of things in mind. Structure, cost, the purpose it serves, any challenges with it. No. So it is a good thing that some people want to challenge the system to see what the feedback will be. But I believe that, like I said, a judge with good conscience, character, and appreciation of the purpose of all of these will not see any reason to uphold the release that they are seeking.
Laura, are we to be concerned about how expensive it is to contest a party position?
The more reason why we need to be careful about expanding. I believe that over the years, political parties haven't really focused on what political parties are supposed to do. But when we talk to people, I don't know of the but at least for the two leading parties, there are people in the parties now that don't even know what the ideology of their party is.
That's a fact.
What are political parties supposed to be doing in our democratic setup? Organize itself and lead in governance. I mean, just to put it in a narrower context.
Simply put.
The organizations that are sent to lead in this country.
Right.
And representation doesn't mean that the voices of the masses are not heard. Who votes for the polling station executives? Who votes for the electoral area executives? Like Elikem said, they have tried expanding it and they had to do a U-turn because we've centered the conversation on the monetary aspect of it. But I believe that if we concentrate on the enforcement of what each political party stands for and what we intend to achieve, it will put people in line. But the gradual increase in the number of people that take decisions for the political party is also a step in the direction. That's why I was telling you that we've added on to the 5 polling station executives. We now have a full gamut of electoral areas. So there's a wider number now taken. And now those vying for constituency positions are also complaining. Because there used to be 5 5 polling station executives and 1 electoral area coordinator. So it was easy to manage. And we have also come to a point where we've decided that, look, your responsibility as a member of a political party, you also have certain responsibilities to your party. So in our presidential primaries, there was no deliberate arrangement for transportation to voting centers. But party people showed up, delegates showed up to vote. In this constituency election is going to be the same. So if we're able to avert our minds to what our political parties stands for, what our ideologies are, get that mentality that is more of public service than coming to make money. And we psych ourselves, so it will take a bit of time because we've really gone far down that monetary, but it's not, all is not lost. And I think that this push for 1 member, 1 vote, or 1 man, 1 vote is a bit premature. We need to put a bit more, strengthen our structures, internal party structures, but a gradual increase in it is also something that we can look at. We can also look at the hybrid system. I mean, it works in certain jurisdictions, even though everybody votes, there's still an electoral college that determines who becomes president, who becomes the people's representative. And we also, if you look at our parliamentary system,
right,
one person represents the whole constituency. How many times has your MP ever come to consult you on decisions that are, but we put that trust in them to make the right decisions in the interest of our constituencies and the interest of our nation. I think it's more of enforcing what we stand for, adhering to our rules, and looking at what our political culture is, not necessarily the voting system. The voting system will be an outcome of what our structures are.
Now, Elikem, it's still about parties' internal workings. There's another issue which I want to run by. Today we're doing Good Morning Ghana in a different way. Please bear with us. It's just one of those days. Now, you know, these two resource persons, they don't come here often. So when they do, I want to run some of these issues by them because I like their thoughts especially when it comes to these topics. Elikem, there's a gentleman called Aminu Suleiman. I don't know whether you know him.
I think I've heard the name.
Yes. Now, he's suing your party over 2026 election rules. This is an NDC matter, but Laura will definitely have a take because it's a matter which both parties, I can tell you, have different opinions as to whether the status quo, or let me put it this way, whether it should be this or it should be that. And when I'm done, I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. So, a registered member of the NDC, Aminu Suleiman, he's dragged the party to the High Court in Accra, challenging key provisions in the NDC's 2026 election guidelines. In a writ of summons and statement of claim filed on around 1st July 2026, and suit number GJ 8787-2026, Suleimana, who is suing in his capacity as a registered member in good standing, is arguing that the general provisions of the guidelines are unconstitutional, ultra-virus, and in breach of the NDC's 1992 constitution. Now, what is his bone of contention? Now, the controversy centers on a requirement introduced on the guidelines announced by the NDC General Secretary Fifi Kweta at a press conference sometime in January. That's 29 January 2026. Now, the provision mandates that certain categories of government appointees, including ministers, deputy ministers, chief executive officers, managing directors, metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, must resign from their position at least 6 clear months before filing nomination forms to contest any party executive positions. Now, what is he contending? He's contending that this requirement constitutes an unlawful amendment of the party's constitution, a violates Article 40, which he says governs qualifications for party office. It was introduced by the National Executive Committee without following the proper amendment procedure laid down in Article 40. So Article 50. It amounts to an overreach, as the NEC has no power under Article 54 to introduce new qualifications where the Constitution is silent. Now, the plaintiff argues that the NDC Constitution is the supreme governing document of the party and forms a binding contract between the party and its members. He maintains that the framers deliberately limited eligibility criteria and any additional requirements amount to an impermissible variation. Now, the plaintiff's actions before suit. Now, according to court documents, Suleimana and 2 other members petitioned the NDC's National Executive Committee on 5th May 2026. He followed up with a formal letter through his lawyers on 26th May 2026. He claims the party has failed to respond to either communication. Now, what are the reliefs he's seeking? Now, he's at the High Court and he's seeking several declarations and orders, including 1, a declaration that the NDC Constitution is supreme and binding on the party. 2, a declaration that the general provisions are null and void, ultra-virus, and of no legal effect. 3, an order setting aside and nullifying the contested provisions. 4, a perpetual injunction restraining the NDC and its neck, officers and agents from enforcing or relying on the provisions during the 2026 internal elections. An order declaring any resignations made solely to comply with the guidelines as void. He's also seeking any further relief the court deems just The suit was issued by one Jesse Akelembora Adongo Esquire of Lex Vanem and Associates. Now, the case is seen as a significant internal test for the NDC as it prepares for its 2026 internal elections ahead of the 2028 general elections. It raises broader questions about the supremacy of party constitution, the limits of the National Executive Committee's powers, and the rights of the ordinary members to participate in party processes. As of now, the NDC has not publicly responded to this lawsuit. The party is expected to file its appearance and defense within the stipulated 8 days from service of the writ. It's past that 8 days because this matter, so it must have been last week or so. I'll come back to Elikem on this matter. Again, we're not going to discuss the suit itself. We're going to just discuss the principle, which is what should be ideal. When a party comes to government, should the party officers be allowed to serve in government till the end of the tenure of that government? Or if that party officer who is serving in government wants to contest a party office, you have to step down, you have to vacate your position, you have to resign, okay, or you have to relinquish that position and then go and take up a party position, or in some cases renew it if you're already there. So for instance, Elikem Kotoko is the deputy national organizer of the party. If Elikem wants to contest that same position or any other position, party position, Elikem must vacate his position, as he must resign formally and then contest, and he must do so 6 clear months. So anybody today who is serving in government who wants to contest a party position, what it means is that by the end of June, I believe, the person must have resigned his position. That is what it means. Okay? Now, I want us to watch this video before I pick the thoughts of Elikem.
Position, who currently holds an office to which he or she was appointed by the president or government, must resign from that office at least 6 clear months before filing nomination forms. 2. Chairpersons or members of boards or persons in analogous position are exempt from this restriction. Why? Because they are not full-time employees. Those who are full-time employees are affected. And the following are those who are affected. The affected officers under paragraph 1 include, they are not limited to: A. Ministers and deputy ministers. B. Chief executive officers, managing directors, their deputies, or analogous officers. C. Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. So those are the 3 main categories that we mentioned. I take them again. The affected officers under paragraph 1 include, they are not limited to: A. Ministers and deputy ministers. B. Chief executive officers, managing directors, their deputies, or analogous officers. C. Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. Now, the official guidelines for the elections will from today be made public. So all of you will be able to have access to it. Now, for the avoidance of doubt and for absolute clarity, those intending to contest at the constituency level who fall in the category I just mentioned, the 3 categories I mentioned, those intending to contest at the constituency level shall resign by April 2026. Those intending to contest at the regional level shall resign by May 2026. And those intending to contest at the national level shall resign by June 2026. These provisions are firm, constitutional, and we enforce without exception. So please don't even bother to come and see whether you can plead to this end, because there's no plea in this matter. Now, call to party officials and members. This reorganization process, ladies and gentlemen, demands discipline, integrity, fairness, and collective responsibility. I therefore call on all party officials from the branch to the national level to apply themselves diligently, act transparently, and uphold the values of the National Democratic Congress. Let us remember that the objective is not merely to elect officers, but to strengthen the party, to deepen internal democracy, to consolidate our unity, and position this party as a formidable political vehicle capable of delivering responsible and people-centered governance and resetting our country. If we get the party right, we get the government right. If we weaken the party, we automatically weaken the government. So the choice before us is clear. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the press, in conclusion, let me say that the NDC approaches this exercise with utmost seriousness and resolve. We are committed to a credible, orderly, and inclusive reorganization that reflects the will of our members and strengthens our democratic privileges. I therefore urge all comers to fully cooperate with the party structures and processes as we collectively build a stronger, more vibrant, and more resilient National Democratic Congress. Let the NDC continue to grow from strength to strength, and like Trump says, thank you very much for your attention to this matter. God bless the National Democratic Congress. God bless our dear nation. Thank you very much.
All right. Elike.
Yeah.
First of all, you are not contesting any party position.
No.
Okay.
And
is it because of the new directive?
No, not at all.
All right.
Not at all. I'm fully aware of these, and well, as Deputy National Organizer, I have also had a lot of concerns by people, not only national officers or regional officers or constituency officers who are in the position addressed to talk about these. Many have also felt that, well, there wasn't any much difference about one holding an appointed position by the president and then holding a position that was elected too, because it's not as though you were dysfunctional, but I agree that it was a decision taken by NEC, and so it is binding, and therefore it means that we are all part of it. Like we were discussing earlier, it's a decision of the majority, and once that was a decision taken, Suleiman's suit also brings a new turn and twist to it. I would sit back to see how that will also pan out. Reason being that he raised some concerns about the guidelines being overreaching and limiting eligibility, amongst other things, considering the fact that contesting for a position should be decoupled from an appointed position you already hold, because your membership of the party is not in doubt or in question, etc. And at the point when you introduce those guidelines also, it becomes also seasonal, because that guideline will again change when you are in opposition there, because you are not holding positions, amongst other things. But I think we look out to see how that will...
The court will determine that, yes.
Will be determined by the court, yes.
But is it a good decision? So now this is Elikim Kotoko as a party member, not as a deputy national. I don't know that you can.
Yes, I must tell you, as an executive of the party, I wholeheartedly embrace that, because it was a decision that was taken. And so that until otherwise, then you can say something contrary. Yes.
If you had the opportunity to disagree, would you have? When the decision
if I do, I will. I sincerely will, and personally, I will. I will not hesitate to say so. The reason being that
if you disagreed with this position, would that be in flagrant disobedience?
No, not at all. Not in any way at all.
Constitution.
Then this is very accommodating of very dissenting views and allows for you to express your views on that, because if only you can multitask and even function or perform your roles very well, then one would say, why should that be the case? Because for instance, a member of parliament is also a minister, being appointed as a minister. Does he relinquish the position as a member of parliament while serving as a minister? No. And while you were even serving in the whichever capacity, you were probably in employment and holding a different position as well too, either your work, etc. And more importantly also, it needs to be put on record. I mean, Laura may agree as well with me that political positions are not positions that you are put on any salary. You don't get paid for the jobs you're doing. So for any, I have heard some rumors somewhere people feel that, if you want to hold on to the position and your appointment and hold on to the political position today, you are being greedy, chopping from here and there. There's nothing to like that. And so at the party position, you are not paid anything for that. So if you are being rewarded by the president who you find favor with, that your hard work deserves commendation and your expertise is equally needed here, so be it, and thanks to God, and then you will discharge that duty also diligently. Yes.
Are you struggling combining your position as Deputy Chief Executive Officer and of Forestry Commission and also a Deputy National Organizer of your party?
No. To many people, I would say no. And
are you functioning optimally?
Yes. Yes. The reason being that the party works generally is not always a full-time job.
Okay.
It's seasonal, as and when. So the only thing that is full-time is probably the regular meetings, which is maybe if it is every Wednesday or every Thursday, what have you, and other roles that may be assigned to you. And so if only you schedule your time well, I think you can. I have said time without number that people will always come to you, but you will need to portion your time well to know how to manage that in order to be able to address the concerns they all have. If not, you spend all your time either answering calls, responding to messages, visiting or attending to people, and you may not get anything done.
If you were the party headquarters, you would make more time to answer the calls because you don't have a job to do, as in strictly speaking, a government
No,
job.
but nobody even gets up to just go and sit at the party head office.
If I went to the party office and there's nobody there?
No, you would always have a skeletal staff.
Okay.
We have the administration. Every party has the administration, which is functioning 24/7, which is always there working and all that. That is why we have an administrator as well too. But for the national officers or regional officers, in fact, your duty is not even to be in the office. Your duty is supposed to be going onto the grounds to be getting information as and when and all of that. So you cannot be very stationary at an office. You may spend maybe 20% or 25% of your time at the office and more of the time on the field gathering data in order to make sure you improve your party.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Laura. Is there a case to be made for greed?
A case what?
To be made for greed.
Greed?
You want to hold
In what
party
sense?
position, hold government appointments.
In what
Why?
sense?
Well, apparently as a party office, they get something small.
They get something small as a party office. That's because we also have similar situations.
Did this conversation ever come up?
You know, come again.
During the...
Oh, but you know, usually when, even in our constitution, for parliamentary, if you are a minister, deputy minister, party official, and all that, you have to resign 12 months prior to filing your nomination. And sometimes for our elections, modality comes out based on what the situation is and all that. But when you look at it in the incumbency advantage contest, you may miss the bigger picture. Yes, someone will say, Elekam is sitting here holding 2 positions, overvoting. He's taking all the positions, right? But who are you going to appoint into offices when you get, you win an election and you take over the realms of power?
Right.
You're obviously going to employ your capable hands. So this directive, I believe, also disadvantages the party. Because then you are losing experience, you are losing a certain level of quality. Could it also be looked at in the context of, okay, you want to go with it, maybe resign before you file your nomination. But that period of 6 months before you file, I don't know the thinking behind it, but we've also had similar situations, especially for our presidential and parliamentary elections.
And some people were livid about it.
You know, I don't see what the challenge is unless the individual has shown clearly that they don't have that leadership to have a good balance between being in government and being efficient and being a party operating.
Yes.
And fundamentally, There are administrators and other people who run the day-to-day management of the party. The elected positions don't necessarily do the day-to-day. It's more routine and to an extent seasonal when it comes to political party issues. Like we are going through a reorganization process. By the time we are done with national elections, it's more of setting up the structures and the various structures working. It's not like a day-to-day running. It doesn't become routine, it becomes season, because between the time that we are done electing our national officers and they setting up, the next big thing is the electioneering campaign for the major election. Yes, we'll go through the other processes of selecting that, but you don't necessarily need to be there 24/7. I mean, not to bring up the 24-hour economy, that is not happening. But you don't necessarily need to be there. You do 8 to 5 as a government operative, and it still pertains now, even with them. So between weekends and after work, and the way our public service even works, sometimes you are working even when you are not in the office. So that good balance between experience, between the people we build capacity on, capacity in, needs to be also considered. In addition to looking at it in the context of incumbency advantage. Yes, definitely. Elikem is sitting in the office. I don't think he's paid, but he's paid as Deputy CEO for Forestry Commission. So he will be he will have some resources to do, but who are the resources going to at the end of the day? It's going to strengthen your base and all that. So that balance needs to be looked at, and this applies to both political parties. But the gentleman who is suing, I'm wondering which article in their constitution that is being breached. Because aside from having the constitution, the National Executive Committee and the National Council can also bring out certain modalities to augur well for the smooth running of the organization or the party. So he also needs to look at it in that context.
So he is saying that, and I don't want us to believe at this point, but he says that it violates Article 40 of the party's constitution, and the fact that it was introduced by the National Executive Committee without following the proper amendment procedure laid down in Article 50. So those are the two issues that he's raised. And then also... Is it a modality for their elections? Yes. Or is there something... I believe the modality for the elections, yes. So, but those usually the Executive Committee, for us in our case, they come with certain modalities. Sometimes the Election Committee... Election Committee also, based on situations that are happening, can recommend certain things, but you just need to make sure that it goes through the right process. So if you look at the communique you reference with regards to the New Patriotic Party, the General Secretary putting out a letter asking for proposals for amendments. So that someone will say, oh, you amended your constitution not long ago. You launched the new constitution not long ago. But these things are not cast in the stone. Lessons are learned, and you have to improve on them. Okay. All right. So... But I'm sure Elikem is not contesting because of this whole 6 months thing. Probably if it wasn't there, you would have contested. It seems he has to have a conversation with his General Secretary and the AG. I wanted clarity. That's why
if I wanted to contest, I would probably have done so. Easily? Yeah, I would have easily.
He likes to do buga in opposition. Yes. He has to gentle in power, so when you're in power, you can't do buga like he did in the opposition. So maybe when they go back into opposition, he will contest. Yes.
All right, so I want us to move to our next topic, and our next topic is It's a social issue, of course, but you can't take out the politics from it, especially looking at the kind of political environments we find ourselves. So it's about flooding. The rains came down, people's homes got flooded, people lost property, some souls were lost, unfortunately, may their souls rest in peace. President goes round in the air to assess the situation for himself. He comes back and forms a task, post-flood mitigation task force, chaired by Foster Okayabwa. I believe it's one, well, I'm not sure, because they're very particular about their titles. I think it's Brigadier General, I believe so. And some directives have been issued. In fact, even just yesterday, the president held a meeting. Bright, I don't know if the video is ready. Vanessa and Bright, if the video is ready. Yesterday, the president chaired the task force meeting. And if we can play that video before we kickstart our conversation. Is it ready?
In the aftermath of the floods that affected a lot of the southern coastal part of our country, I deemed it necessary for us to have a national security meeting to discuss the issues arising out of that natural disaster. It's become a recurring incident, but of course this was far worse than any that we have seen, both because of the vagaries of climate change. Aside from that, too, the pressures of urbanization. Accra being the capital, it is expanding at a very alarming rate. Of course, we've asked the Army to get involved in the flood mitigation measures, and then also NADMO and others are involved in relief, spreading of relief items. And so we want to look at what's been happening so far and what the measures we have to put in place going forward would be. Happily, the Minister of Finance has released some money from the contingency fund for us to be able to finance the mitigation measures going forward. We might not be able to completely eliminate flooding because it's a natural disaster that happens not only in our part of the world, it happens in other areas, but we can minimize it and make its effect less disastrous like what happened. In this particular case, all countries from Gabon to Cote d'Ivoire reported flooding and some loss of lives, some much higher than us. And like we Christians say, in everything we give thanks. And we hope that we should be able to work so that we ameliorate the difficulty that people are suffering.
All right, so that's His Excellency John Dramani Mahama meeting the post-flood mitigation task force yesterday to basically apprise them with what they've been doing and what they intend to do going forward. And so this one then brings into sharp focus tomorrow's a big event. Tomorrow we're cleaning up the entire Ghanaian, the entire Ghana. Yes, it's supposed to be going out as a cleanup. So clean your own small, area. So the president has taxed his government. In fact, let me just read it verbatim. So the government has launched a nationwide post-flood cleanup and recovery exercise to restore affected communities and prevent further disasters following the devastating floods that hit parts of the Greater Accra Vault and Central regions. The initiative is backed by some 350 million cedis emergency intervention package, and that will see the Ghana Armed Forces lead operations in collaboration with the key state institutions, local assemblies, and private sector partners. Government says that the exercise forms part of the comprehensive post-flood recovery and mitigation program activated after the heavy rains of June 28 and June 29 caused widespread destruction across several communities. Following an aerial assessment of the affected areas by President John Dramani Mahama Nation, a national post-flood mitigation task force was established to coordinate relief, recovery, and long-term flood prevention measures. But I believe yesterday there was a press conference by the minority in Parliament. I'm surprised that the papers that we have today did not capture that press conference. But whilst okay, so it's right here. in today's Daily Guide, it says that Ernest Kofi says the minority in Parliament has called for the immediate resignation of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Akuritenga Ayeni, alleging that he acted unlawfully in directing the Bank of Ghana to release 350 million cedis from the contingency fund. Despite pending Ganishi proceedings against the fund. Addressing the media in Parliament yesterday, the Deputy Minority Leader, Patricia Piaget, described the Attorney General's conduct as a blatant violation of the Constitution and the rule of law, insisting that he had lost the moral and legal authority to remain in office. According to her, the minority was in possession of a letter dated July 1, 2026, signed by the Attorney General and addressed to the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, directing the Central Bank to release funds approved by Parliament for the National Emergency Flood Response Program. She said the letter acknowledged that the contingency fund was already the subject of Ganishi proceedings before a court, but nevertheless advised the BOG to release the money without delay on the basis of what the AG described as his considered opinion. Mr. Piaget argued that no minister had the authority to override a subsisting court process, stressing that only a court could vary or discharge a Ganishi order. The Attorney General, aware of a subsisting court process, directed the Central Bank of the Republic to proceed, notwithstanding it on authority. But his own considered opinion, in the Republic of Ghana, court processes are not overridden by the considered opinion of any minister. She contends that the AG ought to have applied to the court to vary or discharge the Ganishi order instead of attempting to bypass the judicial process. The Deputy Minority Leader further alleged that although Parliament approved the withdrawal of 350 million cedis from the contingency fund for flood relief, the money may have been released from a different public account because the approved fund remained under court attachment. If the contingency fund remained under attachment and could not lawfully be accessed, then the emergency disbursement could only have proceeded through another public account. According to her, such an action would amount to a constitutional breach because Parliament had only authorized withdrawals from the contingency fund and no other public account. She quizzed the Ministry of Finance's public announcement that the funds had been released from the contingency fund, saying if another account was used, then official statement did not accurately reflect what transpired. Mr. Piaget challenged the government to make public all relevant records, including the Ganishi order, Bank of Ghana account statement, and transfer advice from the Controller and Accountant General's Department to establish the actual source of the funds. The government should tell Ghanaians which account was used, who authorized the withdrawal, and under what law. The minorities maintain that the Attorney General's actions violated several provisions of 1992 Constitution, including Articles 188, 125, 177, and 178, as well as the Public Financial Management Act 2016, 921. The Deputy Minority Leader also accused the government of concealing material information from Parliament by failing to disclose that a contingency fund was already under Ganishi proceedings when approval was sought from Parliament's Finance Committee on June 29. She further questions whether the Minister for Finance, Dr. Castle Atufos, knew about the court action before seeking parliamentary approval, arguing that either the minister withheld critical information from Parliament or was unaware that the constitutional fund, that's the contingency fund, had become the subject of court proceeding. Now, she said neither scenario, she said, inspired confidence in the government's management of public finances. Okay. So we have issues, the minority has issues with the source of the funds, because as far as that particular fund is concerned, it's been encumbered by virtue of a certain Ganishi by court order. I'm yet to get to the bottom of that particular court matter or that particular case, but the minority says they have evidence that that money you cannot touch. So if you cannot touch it, where is the $350 million coming from? But generally, I mean, we're cleaning up tomorrow. The president has directed that all government appointees, and of course, Ghanaians, generally speaking, must join government appointees to clean up the city. What do you, of course, the 9 regions that have been heavily affected? 709. Must have been, I believe it's 9. I think I saw 9 or so. But I can check. But please go ahead. What are your thoughts on this? First of all, the cleanup, and also the 350 and where it is coming from, and the minorities' concerns.
So fundamentally, I mean, some of these things have obviously become routine or seasonal, and they're also beginning to look like issues that are preventable, because we actually initiate the floods even before the water consumes us. Because the moment you block a waterway, the moment we dump refuse into a drain and all that. We just know that water, as it is, you block a source of a river, all those things, you should know that it's just disaster waiting to happen. And that was quite, the water may have receded, but
so Laura,
there's
right.
a lot
it's actually 7 reasons.
Yes.
You're right.
There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of, and I think that one of the things that also needs to be added to the relief conversation is psychological and mental health assistance to some of the affected people. Because the trauma, look, more on 3rd June, I had a very terrible experience of getting home.
Wow.
So 20 minutes from where I live ended up being almost a 5-hour journey. To the extent that I got to one route and there was a gas tanker that had crossed the road. How he managed to fall off, and it was leaking. So if the residents around there hadn't been proactive enough to prevent cars that were coming that way from diverting, ask cars to divert, it would have been another disaster that would have involved in. So that's thing. So lately, that's how come we ran away on Monday when you said we should wait for you, because the way the clouds were gathering, that trauma, that fear of being caught up in that flood. So I think that psychological and mental health assistance should also be given to these
the victims,
flood victims. Yes, climate change is an issue, but we also need to look at our behaviors.
Right.
Sanitation has become a very big deal. For the first time in where I live, I've been living for about 3 years, the compound got flooded. Because someone has built next to the block and has paved and tiled the frontage of their place. So there's no drain. The water definitely has to settle somewhere and got into our compound. So some of these little things that we ignore is what is causing the big issues. Now look at it. Places that nobody ever thought would flood within, especially Accra, were flooded. But then let's also come to the aftermath of the disaster, if I may. Because water coupled with fires and all that is not something. And I believe strongly that the numbers that are being reported are underreported. I think we lost more people than that, and more people are displaced than what is being reported. But again, if people also don't make their predicaments known, nobody can conjure those figures. But the numbers are grossly reported. Then let's come to the relief to victims. And I think that the call from minority in parliament shouldn't be looked at opposition to flood relief, but also be looked at the rule of law. The fact that you are hungry doesn't mean you should go and loot someone's shop and survive. So yes, we believe that flood victims need that relief. We believe that they must be assisted. And this will not be the first time flood victims will be supported from taxpayers' contribution. But then we also need to look at the constitutionality of it. But the worrying thing is if you have the custodian of our laws, the #1 legal advisor of the state, being the one breaking these laws, is worrying. And that is what minority is asking for. In these situations, transparency is also very crucial to how people get relieved and how we move forward in making sure that such a disaster doesn't reoccur in our nation again. And what is a minority asking for? They're asking for the Attorney General's letter, the court processes, the Bank of Ghana correspondence, evidence showing exactly where the money came from. Because if that account, the contingency account, is an issue, has Kaneshie issues, was the money really taken from it? What rules were breached? What conversations went on?
Right.
All those things, that transparency also helps us avoid some of these things.
Okay.
And put things in order. Yes, natural disasters require agency, but that doesn't also mean that you should also break the laws that protect all of us. So relief is important, but it must be done and done right. And that's what the minority is asking for.
Okay.
Because, yes, agency, it's urgent, but we have also set ourselves up within certain legal settings. And the fact that we want to help people doesn't mean we should be illegal about it.
Okay.
But
Now,
I mean, we can also stop sympathizing, empathizing, and commiserating with those who've lost family members, those who've lost property. And more, it will take some families years to recover from just one day of rain. I was listening to, I was watching one of the TV channels, I've forgotten, and a lady was asked what she needs immediately. She needed utensils. And you see, this also has its downside. Cholera is something we also need to be anticipating. Where our markets were badly affected. The wares that we are buying now, what states are they in? So the cleanup, and the General Secretary of the MPP has released a statement urging party members. And that's the patriotism we believe in. We won't go lambasting everybody and trying to make a political capital of these things. Yes, it's quite intriguing that out of all the days that the government decided to choose, they chose the 11th, which is part of the 10th and 11th. 11th is part of the days that we've already pre-announced that we are going to have our constituency election. But be as it may, it doesn't stop us from being, because it's not going to be a congregation. We are not meeting. It's not a conference. It's for delegates to go and vote and leave. So we can still participate in it early enough, go and vote, and come and join. It doesn't really take anything away from us, because we were able to clear the debris. We are able to clean our markets. We are able to clean the areas that were affected within the 7 regions. It keeps all of us safe. When the flood was coming, it didn't target anyone based on their political party. It's affected Ghanaians. It's affected Ghanaian citizens. It's affected taxpayers' money. And for a political party that is reorganizing to contest the next general election and hoping to win, working hard to win, and assume the realms of power again, we need to prioritize some of these things and take part in everything that all is well in the interest of our nation. So the General Secretary has released a statement. I think that every party person should adhere to it.
So speaking about the statement, I have a copy here. Bright just sent me a copy, and he says, for immediate release, New Patriotic Party joins nationwide general cleaning exercise. And he says that the leadership of the New Patriotic Party direct all members of the party to actively participate in the nationwide general cleaning exercise declared by the President, scheduled for Friday, July 10 and Saturday, July 11, 2026. In view of the party's constituency elections on Saturday, July 11, 2026, members are encouraged to participate in the cleaning exercise immediately after casting their ballots, as voting is conducted on a walk-in basis. The party calls on all members to demonstrate their unwavering commitment to environmental sanitation, civic responsibility, and national development through their active participation. It's signed by Justin Kudia Frimpong, the General Secretary of the party. Now, Elikem, before you even come in, yesterday when Kwesi Pratt Jr. was here and he raised questions about the timing, he was of the view that, look, This thing happened last week, Monday. A lot of the debris has been collected, and the cleaning up should have started maximum 48 hours later so that we can collect all the rubbish. And because anything could have happened in between, another rain could have come, and we know what the debris would have done in terms of contributing to another flooding again. So the cleaning should have been much, much earlier. Sorry.
More just once Likem is coming, I also need a bit of a clarification, if you would.
Right.
Is it going to be a one-off, or is something that is going to be instituted that will do periodically?
Which used to be in the case of the past, National Sanitation Day.
Especially in the case where GMET is still giving warnings and updates. I think a few days ago there was also a message from the that was exactly 1 week after 29th, and then to minister. So is this something that we are going to have institutionalized, or is just a one-off thing, and we go back to being
I agree. You remember under President, under GM1, there was a national sanitation. At the time it was, I think it was Neil Ativandepo was deputy to Julius Debra. Julius Debra was a local government minister. Perhaps it may be time for that to revisit. Anyway, so your general thoughts about the issue. Unfortunately,
but should we really be prompted? Aside that, should we really be prompted to keep our environment clean?
Well, this is Ghana.
I disagree with Mr. Kwesi Pratt.
Okay.
The reason being that a disaster of such nature occurred, the flood. Don't forget the following day, GMET was updating us again that there may be subsequent floods or rains again. And therefore, it was just so impossible or close to impossibility to again want to put people in harm's way and say that, okay, this has happened, let's go out there. So it was only the relevant authorities who were rather mandated to go out there on rescue missions. And so that is what informed the decision, because it could not have been safe putting Ghanaians again in harm's way that just 24 hours or 48 hours after, go out there and do cleaning, when we were told the rains were coming again. It only brings to mind the concern about our waste management, indiscipline, and failure on the side of authorities to enforce the laws rigorously in order to ensure that nobody goes contrary to what is accepted. You know, in the first instance, I want to say here that the NPP needs to look at its leadership in Parliament. They are not helping. It appears Afenyomakin has still not found his footing well after all what has happened over their presidential candidates and all of that. And also, sincerely speaking, I am confused because I am asking, are they seeking clarity of something they suspect, or they are alleging that they have evidence? Because in what you read at one breath, they said they have evidence that the Attorney General had written. And the NPP that I know would have made that available to you, the media, immediately. They haven't made that available. So they are claiming they have that evidence. Now you have that evidence, and you are again asking that they should come out and state clearly if, I mean, for Christ's sake. And you see, when you do these things, Ghanaians laugh at you. And Ghanaians get to realize that you are not patriotic as you pretend to be. Reason being that if indeed you want to know, you could have just written directly to whichever authority to make inquiry. If they didn't even respond to you, then you have reason enough to now come and hold a press conference. But it appears now, even if a pin drops, we must hold a press conference on it. If the wind blows, they must hold a press conference on it. And there are different people. And some of the personalities holding this press conference, without trying to want to attack anybody, have become questionable. You see, and it's like a jostling for relevance. Everybody wants to be seen as a star boy. I am the one. And it's not helping the party. It doesn't look, it looks very fractured at the front. And so they need to look at that. Because when you are seeking clarity, it is different from when you are alleging. You are alleging that you have a document that shows. Why haven't you made it available to the media? Maybe the media, the journalists, they should have questioned and asked for that, and then find out what answers they will give. Because imagine that You claim you have a document that is evidence, and you are not able to produce it. And the narrative out there is that, so what exactly is the position of the NPP? President or the government is trying to help the people who have been affected. That one too, they have a problem. Meanwhile, this is the same people who, when they were in power and had over 300 and something million given for flood mitigation, only a fraction of that amount was used. Over 60% was reallocated to COVID. 20-something was for training or vehicles and all of that. So it gives the impression that in local parlance, I don't know, you get my point. It's just, let's find a way to criticize everything. Must there be a press conference over this if genuinely your concern is to find a solution? And if you have gotten some information and you are seeking clarity, then you should write to the Attorney General. You know his office, you can write to seek the clarification. Does it warrant a press conference? But maybe to them it does, and that is why they are doing so. And so I feel that the minority led by Afenyomakin has not been helpful to the NPP, but it is not in my position to dictate for them or say anything. It's just my opinion.
Okay.
When it comes to these floods, I was one of the victims during the June 3rd floods in Circle. I was hit hard. So I know what it means when people are victims of this, because I have said time without number that my sister sitting here could be just in need of 500 cedis and will become the richest in this country. Somebody may just need 1,000 cedis and will become the most successful and recruit a lot of young people. Another person will also be given all that amount and cannot be able to make any meaningful impact out of it. There are victims who have actually been affected. We must be looking at how to find solutions to this. I am so strong about discipline and authorities, because waste management is a major issue we have to tackle. We don't separate our waste, how we dispose them off is a major issue. Then also, education is very key. When you look at Japan, Japan knows that their island is an earthquake zone. And therefore, part of their education is to always educate their children about how to stay safe during an earthquake. If we are now saying that, like President Kufuor said, corruption started since Adam. If floods started since the 70s or the 60s, and it is something that even though we put mitigation measures, it will still come anyways, then we must put in measures to begin to learn. Because the purpose of education is to impact and reform. And so if in the past we were learning things about Red Cross, etc., and today we now need to infuse into our education curricula a system that will teach us about sanitation, that will teach us about waste management and disposal, etc. It will help us all. So education is very key in all of this. If we do not start it at the very base, we grow and it becomes a bad habit. Everybody feels it is normal if I finish drinking water, I throw rubbish off I litter the street. They don't see anything even wrong with that. They feel that he's just only him or her. But in the end, we all get to suffer. Okay. Now then also is the authorities that look over for people to see this. If you look in the front page of the Daily Graphic, right, or is it the Daily Graphic, the Nungwa chief did make a categorical statement that he has not sold a single land to those who are occupying Ramsar sites. And so we need to look at who has been doing these things and giving out these places to such people. Right. Just by way of education, lastly. Okay. The name Ramsar site. Ramsar is a city in Iran. Okay. So there's a city in Iran called Ramsar. That was where the Wetlands Convention. The Wetlands Convention. Come again. Okay.
We are talking about 350 that you've taken out. We want it to be transparent, and I agree.
No, that is why I'm asking if you're seeking clarity, because your minority.
But what else are they seeking?
Oh, are they seeking clarity? But they were alleging they have documents. So where is the document? That is why I'm saying that if you want that, you can easily write to the Attorney General. There's an RTI.
This is a press conference that is needed for this. This is a flat situation that we are talking about. We've lost people, yes. People need to get relief. But that doesn't mean that you should go cut corners and gather, because it's taxpayers.
You haven't proven that corners have been cut yet. You're only alleging.
That is what, no, but it's up to you to give us the evidence.
Okay.
And we've asked for, minority has asked for, but
you said you already have a document.
You turn around and suddenly make it about the minority.
You who said you have a document.
Personalize, and I think
you have not been able to produce a document yet.
They are asking who has oversight over government. Isn't it the parliament? Who keeps government in check? Isn't it the minority?
So the document you have,
ask,
why are you not presenting it to us to see? So you should bring your document. This is wrong. It is not true. It is not authentic.
But why do you make it about the individuals? Why do you make it about same people want to Starbucks? Your general secretary just gave you a 6 months ultimatum to resign. Isn't he? I can also say that your general secretary is trying to protect himself because he's afraid of a contest.
Fortunately, I'm here to tell you that it was not his decision. It was a NEC decision.
When we are talking about national issues, let's take those things. Let's stop personalizing the issues. You get that everybody wants to have a press conference.
I raised the concern.
No, because you mentioned Apenyoma, he said don't do that.
All right. Because what you did when
you have that intent of that.
All right, so let me do this. So for our sanitation, no, it's okay. That's fine. You've made a point already. I beg you. You've made a point already. It's about the third time. All right, so let me do this. Let me bring this to your attention. So with regards to tomorrow's cleanup exercise, the Zoom Lion Ghana Limited is rallying behind the president's National General Cleanup Exercise. So this is a statement from Zoom Lion Ghana Limited. So Zoom Lion Ghana Limited warmly welcomes and fully endorses the government's declaration of Friday 10th July 2026 and Saturday 11th July 2026 as National General Cleaning Days in the flood-affected regions of the country. We commend His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for this bold, timely and decisive intervention following the recent floods. The directive demonstrates strong leadership and a renewed national commitment to protecting lives, safeguarding public health and restoring environmental sanitation in our communities. As Ghana's foremost waste management company and a trusted partner in environmental sanitation for over 2 decades, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited is fully prepared and committed to supporting the successful implementation of this important national exercise. In line with the President's directive, Zoom Lion, following discussions with the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, is immediately activating its nationwide operational network and placing all its regional, district and municipal officers together with its extensive fleet of equipment, logistics and skilled personnel, to support metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies and affected communities. Our support for the 2-day exercise would include, but will not be limited to, deployment of sanitation personnel to support coordinated cleanup exercises, provision of waste collection trucks, skip containers, compactors, and other heavy-duty equipment, evacuation and safe disposal of collected waste and silt from designated collective points or collection points, the silting of drains and waterways to improve water flow and reduce the risk of future flooding, sweeping and cleaning of roads, markets, lorry stations, public spaces and drainage channels, comprehensive disinfection and sanitation of flood-affected public areas to minimize the risk of disease outbreaks, provision of operational support and technical expertise to MMDAs and other stakeholders throughout the exercise. Zoom Lion further assures the government that our operations will extend beyond the 2-day national exercise where necessary, working closely with the relevant authorities to ensure that affected communities are restored to safe and healthy conditions. The devastating floods have once again reminded us that environmental sanitation is a shared national responsibility. Preventing future disasters requires sustained collaboration among government institutions, private sector organizations, traditional authorities, civil society, and every Ghanaian citizen. We therefore urge all residents, community leaders, business institutions, and civil society organizations to actively participate in this exercise. Together, we can restore our communities, protect public health, and build a cleaner, more resilient Ghana. At Zoom Lion, we remain steadfast in our commitment to delivering innovative and sustainable environmental sanitation solutions that improve lives and protect ecosystems and support national development. Together, let us answer the President's call. Let us clean our communities, protect our environment, and safeguard our future. Clean Ghana, save lives. Communications and Corporate Affairs Directorate, that's issued by them, and it's to all media houses, signed.
So government will accept this?
Yes.
So what went into cancelling his contract?
Well, That's
Maybe Elikem can
another
answer.
discussion for another day because we've run out of time.
You know there were irregularities and concerns raised about that. One may call for a need to properly vet and put in mitigating measures against any future contracts.
Okay, no problem.
That should be the
So you think it should be recontracted?
So it is not in my power.
There's a massive call. Yesterday, Franklin Kujo. Let me read what Franklin Kujo before I bring it. Kwesi, how are you? I know you can't wait, but let me just read this. let me just briefly read this.
I just want to say a big shout out to the Blackstock boys who have been doing a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
And a shout out to us also.
Doing a great job.
So let me read you something.
But you know this, we also need to emphasize on intersector collaboration.
Yes.
I think it's one of the things that's really also costing us.
Right.
Institutions not being able to, the mandates overlap. But you know, I mean, with Elikem sitting here and jabbing people, if you have ministers having open fights,
so
it won't happen.
So yesterday, Franklin Kujo wrote something on his Facebook wall. He says that, right here is the next big threat. Where are the waste collection companies? There will be more of such when the nationwide cleanup exercise is done. We should ensure every bit is collected and safely transported to designated site. This must be done properly with all the big waste management companies. We must engage Zoom Lion now. That's what Franklin Kujo said. And you know, we've been on that advocacy for the past month or so, and we heightened it after the flood situation.
And putting these 2 days and all those modalities having been considered, that you go and have people they sell gutters and leave it on the road, and the rain will come and you go back. I shudder to believe that those modalities haven't been considered.
Anyway, so that's it for our Sanitation Watch. Our guests here, as you have heard them, have also contributed. In fact, they've added their voices for the government to have a relook and to review the contract that they terminated with Zoom Lion Company Limited. And the person who was the lead advocate is Loratu Sakamusa, and we're grateful for adding her voice. Elikem says, look, he thinks that he's heard people call for that, and he will leave that to the government to take a decision. But Loratu Musa is our lead advocate. And we're grateful for that. Thank you very, very much. Mungo de Kware. She wants Zoom Lion back. Thank you. So Discover MNC. So that's it for Sanitation Watch. Discover MNC Group Global, your number one partner in minerals and food commodity, trading, real estate development, general logistics, and also procurement management consultancy. They do investment advisory as well. They do import, they export, anything and everything. Once it is legit and it's legal. So they have headquarters in East Legon, Accra, Ghana. They have it in Dubai, Hong Kong, Guangzhou in China, America, Germany, everywhere. So trust us to maximize your value in every deal. Call them on 0302 998242. 0302 998246, not 42, 46. MNC Group, totally reliant. Kwesi?
Yes.
How far?
We're good. We have two schools coming in this morning.
School homecoming.
Yeah, school's homecoming right here on Metro TV.
Whoa. Who is coming home?
We have Ghana Senior High, and then also we have Mauko Girls, EPC Mauko Girls. They're coming on the show this morning. So quickly, I want to speak to our honorables. I mean, we're celebrating personalities. Yeah, I'm just giving them a minute each. We are celebrating personalities. I mean, when you were in school and before you left school, which personality actually went to your school that you actually aspired to be or you looked up to? I mean, we just want to know. Let me start with our first lady this morning. Yes, I like the way you're watching me, and I'm also watching you.
No, because I'm sports for choice.
No, just mention one person.
Most of the females, first positions that are being occupied from females are from my school.
Okay.
So I'm sports for choice. I can't really.
So we are going to allow you to rest.
Yes.
So you rest, and then let's come to Elikem.
There are lots from where I
the late Robert Mugabe once taught at one of my secondary schools, St. Mary's. I attended St. Paul's in Volta and went to St. Mary's in Takoradi.
Okay, then.
And he once taught in St. Mary's. Actually, his first wife was a Ghanaian from Sekedi.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
And so by reason of that, I learned a lot about Mugabe. He was the most educated president in the world, with about 7 degrees to his name or so.
Wow.
In fact, so I aspire to do that.
And how many do you have now?
I am on my 4th.
Your 4th?
Yes. So, and probably by next year, I mean,
you should go to your 5th.
6th or so.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So you're part of those who will be sharing the Mugabe quotes.
Yeah, the Mugabe quotes. All right. All right. Thank you very much, Honorables. And Moro, thank you also very much this morning.
Yes.
It's time for us to go straight to the Schools Homecoming show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have 2 schools that are joining us this morning. We're going to be back right away.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well,